Hello everyone, my name is Jeremy Sitanggang and my student ID is 44241001.
Hello, my name is Daniel Hamriskiansyah. My student ID 44241921.
Welcome back to BSI Talk. I'm Noel and I'll be hosting this episode today. Today we will be discussing a hot topic that's recently arisen in our student forum, smoking policy on campus. I'm with Daniel, the student representative. Daniel, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me, Noel. This is a hot topic, and I'm ready to delve deeper into it.
Okay, let's get started. Many students have commented and advocated for smoking to be allowed on campus. What's the rationale and logic behind this?
The main argument is about encouraging. Smoking is about personal freedom and particle management. Proponents argue the science students are adults. They should have their own say in managing their health and their habits. Furthermore, some argue that designer are actually make campus clever when there are no designer zone. Students simply smoke in hidden corners that are out of sight and unsupervised, which leads to litter and creates cat and mouse game with campus security.
That makes sense from a management perspective. But then there's the flip side to that view. Why are so many faculty and students pushing for a completely smoking-free campus?
The argument focuses on the public health and environment. Secondhand smoke is a real health hazard, especially for students with asthma or respiratory problem. Furthermore, a campus in an academic space, a smoke-free policy promotes a healthy lifestyle, which aligns with the campus role as a place of learning and development. It's about creating an environment where health is the priority, not comfort.
Are there any journals that support this claim?
Yes, according to 2022 article in the journal Environmental Research and Public Health, the author used the special mapping to show how cigarette smoke from designated smoking areas still enters the ventilation of the nature health and mind pedestrian area.
Let's break down the impact on the learning environment. Does smoking actually affect how we learn or interact?
Absolutely. Think about the social dynamics. If you have a smoking zone near a classroom building, you'll have a cloud of smoke. And students have to wait through just to get to class. It's incredibly distracting and frankly exclusionary for those who don't want to be exposed to secondhand smoke. Academic, if a divide a smoke-free campus creates a natural space where everyone is on equal footing.
What about stress? Some students say they need to smoke to cope with exam pressure. Isn't that a valid point for them?
According to 2024 study in the journal Addictive Behavior Report, nicotine dependence, mental health symptoms, and academic performance among university students. Implication for campus when awareness program they bunker the might the smoking help manage stress smoking only relieve nicotine withdrawal symptom which does exactly reduce stress in the long term. Minta potong dulu.
Dua, tiga.
If we want support student mental health, we need to provide better counseling service on a correct counsel. Rather than an addiction-based solution like smoking, we need to normalize healthy companies.
So, if you had to summarize this, where would you draw the line? Is there a middle ground, or is a total ban the only way?
This is tension between individual rights and the common ground. A total ban is the gold standard for public health. However, if a campus try to accommodate everyone, they need very strict enforcement of the schedule, well ventilated smoking area away from main campus roads and their building, but experience how show the middle ground is difficult to maintain.
It really depends on what kind of culture we want to build here. Daniel, this is a great insight into the complexity of this issue. Thank you for explaining it to us. Absolutely. And for our listener, let us know what you think. You can leave a comment on our social media. See you next week.
Our next topic is discussing a hot topic, the use of artificial intelligence or AI in a campus environment. The question is, so the use of AI below in academic activity. My education partners, Noel, is here with me.
I think this topic is very interesting because almost all students today are familiar with AI, from ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, and various other AI applications.
That's right. In fact, it's now used not only the search for information but also to help summarize material, translate language, find research reference, and even ground. Assignment, however, many lectures are confirmed that AI will discourage students from thinking critically. In your opinion, so maybe
In my opinion, AI should be allowed, but its use must be clearly regulated. AI is a tool, not a replacement for student skills. Just like a calculator in mathematics, AI can help complete work more efficiently, but students still need to understand the concepts being learned.
so the problem is AI, but how is used?
Exactly. UNESCO also emphasized in 2023 that AI has great potential to improve the quality of education if used ethically and responsibly. This means universities need to create guidelines regarding when AI can and cannot be used.
Interesting. If you look at the benefit, what do you think are the advantages of AI for students?
There are several significant benefits. First, AI can increase learning efficiency. Students can quickly obtain explanations of material when they they are having a difficulty understanding a book or journal. Second, AI AI aids it AI aids the brainstorming process. For example, when students want to determine a research topic, AI can provide initial ideas that the students can then develop independently. Third, AI can help improve writing skills. AI can provide suggestion of grammar, sentence structure, and even spelling corrections. However, the content of the writing must still be derived from the student's own thoughts.
I agree. Even the research, AI can help create article summarize, making it easier for a student to understand multiple journal in a short time.
That's right, but we also shouldn't turn a blind eye to the risk.
This is very interesting, and is also frequently debate topic. What are the risks of using AI in academia?
The risk is a decline in critical thinking skills. If students immediately ask AI to complete an entire assignment without understanding the content, the learning process will be less than optimal. The second, the second risk is plagiarism. Although AI generate text often appears original, if students submit it without proper analysis and without acknowledging the use of AI, as per university regulation, this would violate academic integrity. The third, the third risk is that AI generate information isn't always accurate. AI can produce answers that sounds convincing but aren't supposed by valid facts for our reference. Therefore, students must still verify and checking their information through scientific journals and trusted sources.
So the ability to evaluate information remains crucial, right?
Correct. In higher education, the primary goal is not just to obtain answer, but also to understand the thought process that produce those answers.
Some also argue the accurate unfair competition because students who use AI can complete assignment with much faster than those who do it manually. What do you think?
I see it from a different perspective. Technology is always changing and way humans work. Previously, students had to manually search for reference in libraries. But then the internet emerged, speeding up information retrieval. Now AI is making the learning process even easier. The most important thing is that all students have equal access and understand the rules of its use.
So this technology should be banned, but rather that it should be used wisely, right?
Yes, according to a 2023 study by Carnegie and colleges published in Nature Reviews Psychology, generative AI has great potential in education, but its success depends on AI literacy, lecturer supervision, and students' ability to think critically about the results provided by AI.
It's also read 2024 student by company. Pattern and segue that discussed ChatGPT in the higher education. The study concluded that AI can enhance learning if you use as a learning companion, not as a tool to replace student effort.
Exactly. Therefore, I believe universities should establish clear policies. For example, AI is allowed to generate ideas, correct grammar, create summaries, and otherwise assist with understanding material. However, AI should not be used to take exams, write full tests, or complete assignments without personal analysis.
So, do you think lecturer also need to understand AI?
Absolutely. Lectures should not only monitor the use of AI, but also teach how to utilize it ethically. Even assignments on campus can be designed to require students to provide personal analysis, reflections on experiences, case studies, or oral presentations which are difficult to completely replace with AI.
So, the form of evaluation must also evolve.
Correct. Education must be able to adapt to technological developments. A total ban on AI may be less effective because students can still access it off campus. What's more important is building an academic culture which upholds honesty and responsibility.
Towards the end of our discussion, I'd like to ask a question. If you were the rector of our university, based in university, would you allow the use of AI?
My answer is yes, but with clear rules. I will implement guidelines for AI use, provide training to lecturers and students on AI literacy, and require students to declare if AI is used in their assignment. This way, AI becomes a learning support tool, not a substitute for student skills.
I share a similar thought. AI is not the enemy of education. In fact, AI can be an opportunity to improve the quality of learning if you use responsibly. What must be maintained is academic integrity, critical thinking skill, and the ethic in the use technology.
Absolutely. Ultimately, artificial intelligence will not replace humans. Those who will excel are those who are able to use AI wisely and retain the ability to think, analyze, and make decisions independently.
Okay, thank you very much for today's discussion. I hope our discussion has a proper insight into the use of AI in academia. Share your thoughts in the comment section.
Thank you.
See you on the next podcast episode. Thank you.